After the American Civil War, with the pride of the Southern man wounded, the once proudly rural South was continuing the industrialization of the region that had started in earnest during the war. Factories were built, industry was moving forward, and land was being cleared to make room for an expanding and modernizing South. Millions of acres of southern forest was cleared as the modern world got smaller and smaller. And one resident of the great forests of the Old South felt its world shrink even faster than our own. This is the ivory-billed woodpecker, also known as the Lord God bird. This nickname came from the awestruck sentiment shared by those who saw the large, enchanting woodpecker. My Lord God, what a bird! This bird once had a wide presence across the deep old woods throughout the southeast United States. But almost in a metaphor for the Confederacy itself, the bird's reign over the region was short-lived. By the early 1900s, the woodpecker's range had been mostly reduced to small old-growth woods ranging across Louisiana and Arkansas. And in 1913, president of Singer Sewing Machines Douglas Alexander bought 83,000 acres of this timberland as wood to make cabinets and sewing machines. It was on this tract of land in 1932 where an expedition led by a research team of aviary professor Peter Kellogg, PhD student James Tanner, and notable avian artist George Mix Sutton. The team would draw, photograph, and record some of the earliest sights and sounds of the ivory-billed woodpecker, the only verified footage and sound we still have today. The logging of the Singer Tract would enter a standstill during World War II. The Chicago Mill Company held the rights to log the Singer Tract, and the complications were fairly simple. Chicago Mill Company just did not have the manpower. That was until a workforce would come from a very unexpected source. The United States military had thousands of German POWs with nowhere to put them. So these Nazi soldiers were rounded up and sent to the United States. Most of these men would be put to work in farming or agriculture, but some of these men were to log the Singer Tract. Yes, the ivory-billed woodpecker, whose domain was initially shrunk by a labor force consisting of many former soldiers of the Confederacy, would have their homes finished off by the Nazis. At first, the German POWs loved the logging assignment. After all, the beautiful southern woods beats any holding cell, but they began to grow weary of their assignment as the forest dwindled. Chicago Mill ordered every single tree to be cut. Surplus logs would literally rot in the logging camp. All of the viable trunks were turned into tea chests for the British Army. The Germans despised the fact that they were cutting down an entire forest for unessential niceties. That's right, you heard me correctly. American capitalism and the Chicago Mill Company had successfully pushed the limits of the ethics of the Nazi soldier. And it was during this period of logging that the last confirmed sighting of the ivory-billed woodpecker would happen, all the way back in 1944. People continue to hold out hope. Birdwatchers have claims of seeing ivory-billed woodpeckers as recently as a year ago. Hunters tell anecdotes of hearing the mating call of a single female, a call that will never be answered. And I also still hold out hope. I hope one day someone takes a picture or stumbles upon a nest. But I have an even deeper hope. I hope the ivory-billed woodpecker is still out there, in number, and that we never find it. Finding a new population only stands to make us feel better, a relief that our hubris didn't bring the end to such a majestic line. I hope it stays hidden. This bird no longer needs to be the indirect victim of our brutal wars or see its homes destroyed to make containers for English breakfast or simply left to rot. The ivory-billed woodpecker has already paid the price for our arrogance, and it may have even paid the ultimate price. And we should also pay a price that we should never see their like again. And alive or gone, I hope these wonderful creatures never have to pay our price ever again. I hope that they still yet live, that they can thrive peacefully deep in our old woods, and I hope and pray that that peace goes undiscovered until the end of days.